Welcome to this episode on the She Scales podcast, where we're going to be talking about why you're not signing more clients in the DMs and what to do about it. Okay, so this is going to be really, really valuable for you. Whether you're someone that is already signing clients in the DMs, but you want to be signing more, you're like, hello, volume, can we increase capacity here? Or whether you're like, girl, my DMs are like the ghost town. It's okay, they've been both. There's also seasons in business, you'll probably be both at some time. So don't worry, wherever you are, whether you're already getting clients or want to see more clients coming in, you're going to get value from this episode. Whoop! Okay, so if you're not currently signing clients in DMs consistently, that's a great thing. I know it might not seem like a great thing, but it's a great thing because it's giving you a message. It's giving you a message that something needs cleaning up. Because what you offer is already high value. You have this profitable offer that your ideal clients need. So if you've got this thing and all you need to do is get the message out there, imagine you're hosting a party, right? It's an awesome party. Your perfect dream clients will definitely want to come and they'll love it once they're here. But right now, you need to get the invites out there to tell them that the party is happening. This is what your marketing is. Your marketing is the invite to your party. That might be the first time that you have ever thought about marketing that way, but this is the thing, is if your marketing isn't doing its job, you need to go outbound. That's going to look like door to door, going around the neighborhood, knocking on people's doors. That's what like cold outreach is. That would look like you go in and speaking to people, you go in knocking on doors, doing like either cold DMs or sales calls if you want to. Because if you haven't got the message out there, nobody's going to know about your party. So you have to go and like just rock up at people's door to tell them about it, right? But when you've got good marketing, you've sent the invites out. You've let them know that there's a party happening, that it's going to be great and why the reasons it's going to be great. Maybe it's fancy dress, or maybe it's Friday night and there's going to be, wine involved, or maybe there's like kids games or whatever it is, whatever's your cup of tea. You've said there's this great party happening, would love you to come. Here's when it starts. Here's what time you need to be there. Can you RSVP? Is that the right letters? Yeah. RSVP for the party. This is the purpose of your content. Your content is the invite to your party. So if you're not getting people arriving at the door saying, hey, we're here for the party, this is a sign that your invites have not gone out. Maybe they got lost in the post. Maybe the dog ate them on the way. But your invites didn't go through their letterbox. So there's a few things that you can do to make sure that the invites are getting into their letterbox so that they are informed. They know the party is happening. They know it's going to be exciting. They want to come. And this is the whole purpose of your marketing, is creating an environment where people want to come to you. Because if you haven't created that environment, you're going to have to go and do outbound stuff. Again, not terrible, not totally against it. I've done hell of a lot of outbound sales calls in my life. And I've created incredible customer relationships, worked with people year in, year out because of it. I'm done with the whole, oh my God, like cold outreach is like the worst. Like, do what you've got to do. But if you can create content that sells for you and invites people to your party, you don't need to do any outbound stuff. So there's benefit in that because you can just let people, the right people, come to you. And they can qualify themselves through your content to see whether they are the right fit or not. Okay, so let's get into this episode now that we've talked about parties and invites and all of this. Because I'm someone who, as I've said, is used to do a lot of outbound calls when I was in my job, never in the business. But I did start by doing sales calls initially. But what I found is that when I started getting even better at content and I started speaking to who I really wanted to work with and I started showing them like how I could really help, my content was doing so much of the sales conversation for me that people were reaching out to me. And to this day, I attract and sign high-level clients, whether that's like high four-figure clients coming into my DMs. We might have a few like questions or like a couple of voice notes backwards and forwards, but then I'm closing clients in the DMs and then we're signing up to work with each other, based on the next week, the next month, whenever it is. And so that's happening consistently without people needing, 3 calendar weeks to think about it. They'll just come in It's a few questions or a few little, how would this work, and then we get straight to it. So if that's not happening for you yet, here's what's missing so that you can plug that gap. Number one, your content is not doing its job. Your content is not inviting people to the party. Because if it was, this would be happening. So as I'm saying, like, look at this as an opportunity, not why isn't this happening for me? Look at it with a positive mindset to be like, okay, this isn't happening yet, but it will. And I know that I can fix this. So how can I improve my content so that it's showing my ideal client why I am the one? You know, this is where you really need to bring in some of your expertise, whether it's your achievements, your qualifications, your years of experience, all these things that separate you from the crowd. This needs to be visible in your content. We also need to see you, more of you. You know, yes, like your skills and your expertise are awesome and all the years you've experienced and all the things you've overcome. But we want to see the person. Like, let's see more of you, not just your knowledge or skill. So bring some more of you into the forefront so that we can get to hear your story. For example, if I was to share a post that was all about, like, I don't know, here's 5 ways you can increase your sales and sign more clients this week. Like, that post, like each different post obviously serves a different purpose. So a post like that would get a lot of saves, probably a lot of comments, would invite people to see me like as someone that can educate them, someone that can help them. So that's sort of useful from a business perspective. Whereas if I shared a post that was like, here was what I was doing in 2020 versus what I am doing now, and it was a comparison post, then people are seeing like my journey, what that looks like. And it might be things like, I was charging this and now I'm charging this. I was selling this and now I'm selling this. I was living here and now I'm living here. And you're seeing the growth of the person, not just the business. So a post like that isn't educational, but you're seeing like, why me? So from a content perspective, I'm showing you both what I've overcome, but also why I'm different to other people, setting myself out from, apart from the crowd. So have a little look at your content. Are you bringing in a variety of content that shows why you're the authority? Client results, your own results, things you have achieved, milestones you've overcome. Is it positioning you as the no-brainer choice? Which is actually number 2. Number 2 is you're positioning yourself as an option, not the no-brainer choice. Again, you've got to think that your ideal client is scrolling on social media all day, every day, because they mostly are. So if they're seeing hundreds, if not thousands, of invites to different parties all of the time, imagine that is happening, because it is. They are seeing invites to different people's parties that look exciting, they look bingeable, they're appealing to their wants and needs, and they're like, oh my God, these parties look amazing, I want to go to all of the parties. So why is your party the best one? You should be positioning yourself as the no-brainer choice. There's plenty of other options out there, and your ideal client will be looking at all of them because they've just got such ease of shopping around with who they want to buy from. They could have landed on your profile today and then clicked on people like this and gone straight onto your competitor in half a second. That's how easy it is to scroll past. So you really need to be thinking, what is special about me? What makes me different? Get super fucking clear on that and make it shine through your content. People aren't going to part with their hard-earned cash if you're not positioning yourself as an authority. So that was number 2. Start positioning yourself as an option. Start positioning yourself as the no-brainer choice. Number 3 is you're not showing enough demand and urgency. So if you've not got a hot audience, like people wanting to buy, then there's not going to be any demand for this offer, for your services. And if you've not got demand, you've not got momentum. Momentum is absolutely critical, because without momentum, imagine trying to paddle out to sea and catch a wave that isn't coming. Like, you're going to have to work really, really hard, paddle like the clappers to try and stand up on a board, and there's literally no momentum. So all that's going to happen is you're going to fall off because there's no wave to ride. You need to have momentum within the business if you're going to create that incoming demand where people are going to be wanting to reach into your DMs to ask how to work with you. So if it feels like you're convincing people to buy rather than them wanting to buy from you, this is a sign that there's not enough momentum within the business. People want what's already hot. So if it feels like you're convincing people, you haven't shown why it's already hot or who else is buying or, any sort of like excitement or interest within the business. Like any kind of interest, incoming interest in whatever form, share that shit. Share that shit. Like people want what's already in demand. So you need to show where the demand is in the business. And this can come from anywhere. Anywhere. I don't care if it's a reply from an email, whether it's a conversation you're having in DMs, whether it's you got really good comments on your recent post, whether you've had a new call booking, whether you have a client has just reached out saying like, oh my God, I've just got this result. Whether it's a past client feedback form, whether it is a reply to a story, okay, that's 8 so far. How many others? Like any kind, your Stripe account, if you've had like a really good payment day, for example, there's 9 different ways that I gave you just really ideas off the top of my head about how you can be showing interest within your business. Because any sign of interest is marketing. It's proof that people are already buying, already inquiring, they are already interested. If you can show more interest, it's going to be a lot easier for more people to come through. So, and just to give you that in another little analogy, because we know I love my metaphors, if you've got the choice between going to a restaurant that is empty versus the one next to it where there's a queue coming out of the restaurant and it's packed out, which one are you going to go to? I don't think you're going to go to the one that's empty, because the one with the queue outside has got that kind of, it's got a queue. The queue in itself is a sign of quality. So we would reasonably assume that the restaurant with the queue is going to have better quality food. And so most people, not everyone, but most people would rather stand in a queue for something that has been already qualified as good by other people than go into somewhere and take a risk themselves. If they stand in a queue, they haven't got to take a risk, presumably, because there's the presumed assumption that the restaurant with the queue has got better quality food and that somebody else has done the research and done the testing. So remember, people want an easy life. They don't want to have to think for themselves. I know we've got to make a lot of decisions every single day. So if they can minimize those decisions and go with something that is already busy, then they haven't got to take the risk on figuring out if the service is good or not. They've already got proof that it is. So your duty is to show the evidence of the queue to your party. This episode has so many analogies. I love it. Okay, number 4 is you're not showing enough proof. High-paying clients want to see others who've gone first and what was possible for them by working with you. Yes, your words about your offer are great and your words about you are great, but if you're sat on a whole pool of past client results and you have that info easy to find for people who are lurking, and they can easily find your testimonials, easily find names, dates, and have that ready for lurkers to binge and pre-qualify themselves so that they haven't got to either dig through your last 6 months of posts to find this information, or it's not even visible. Honey? If you've got all of your client results up front, it's easy to find, your offers will sell themselves. Remember, people are lurking all of the time. They're not giving you likes on your posts. They might not even be watching your stories. You might not have any idea that these people exist because they could be saving your posts quietly and just paying quiet attention until they're ready to come through. So if that is the case and people are always shopping, where are your client results easy to find so that these people can come through? Well, are you on like Trustpilot or Google, or have you got your client results up front in your highlights, for example? Like I had a recent thought of thinking like, oh my God, I've got so much client results and they're hidden in Google Forms sat in my Google Drive. I've got like 10 plus feedback forms from different past programs, from courses, from micro offers. I've got all of this client results data and it's not visible. I was like, girl, what are you doing? Your lurkers cannot see inside your Google Drive. So this is your signifier. The other thing with that is whilst Google Forms are very handy, they obviously don't bring people's names into it, and you'll have a lot more credibility if people can see names. Again, there's so many, unfortunately, people out there that will fake their reviews, that if you can get client results and client reviews where people are happy to put their names to it and people can find that information as easy as Googling you, it's just going to add such a level more credibility. It's going to be a lot easier for them to come through if they can either Google you or go onto your page and easily find a whole track record of your past clients, what happened for them, what their feedback was. It names you and or the offer that they came in. It's just going to add such an easier way for more people to come through. So number 4, show more proof. And so just circling this, your takeaway is see this as an opportunity. If there's not more clients, in fact, I'm going to add another 5th one here. I am going to add another 5th one. If you want more clients in your DMs, you have to show how your DMs are a safe space to come and talk to you. Because especially as you're growing your brand, you're becoming a leader, you're standing out, you're becoming more unapologetic, there's a chance that people might be like, oh my God, and have some sort of like fear or reservation about reaching out to you. So the more that you can show what conversations are already happening in your DMs, the more that you show that it's easy to come through and talk to you. So even if you put up some stories that might be like something that you did on the weekend, and it's something more either personal or conversational, and it has a couple of people reaching out to you, share those, because even though it's not DMs about your offer and it's not sales led per se, it is showing proof that conversations are happening. And so when other people see that, they'll be like, oh, she's answering questions. And equally, if you get a question of someone saying like, can you tell me more about this? Or any kind of question, even if it's, what's your dog's name? Share that, because then you can be like, oh, I just had this question in my DMs. Oh, loving that you love the dog, or la 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 la. It's not necessarily about the dog. It's more about showing that conversations are happening and it's safe for people to come through and chat with you. The more that you can show that and involve more people in the conversation, the easier it will feel for them to come through. Because then they can send you a message either about the dog or about the offer that they've been secretly stalking and saving all your content for the past 6 months. So recapping all of those. Number 1 is create content that shows why you're the expert. The better your content, the more DMs you're going to get. Hands down. So this is a content problem. First and foremost, if I left it at no other point, if you're not getting either a lot of DMs or you're not getting many or you're not getting any at all, this is a content problem. Your content isn't speaking to who your ideal client is and how you can help them. So content tweaking. So authority content, leadership content, client results, and either your wins, your milestones, and your achievements. Get sharing more of that. Number 2, position yourself as the no-brainer choice, not an option. Do this by bringing in your main character energy, like why you. Bring that to the forefront. Bring your personality, bring your vibe, teach, but add in some of what your personality is, your way of speaking, your way of doing things. Yeah, let us see your excellence and your whole vibe. The more you can be in your content, the more people are really going to get to know you and even read things and hear it in your voice or accent. And then it's just so much easier to come through because they know you, they can hear you, they can imagine what it's like to work with you. So again, you're removing barriers and possible objections or possible worries about what might it be like to work with this person, because they can already see that from your content. So get yourself out there, position yourself as the no-brainer choice, and you will become the no-brainer choice. Number 3 is create urgency and demand. Do this by sharing more client results, get them up front, get people's names there, like show your past client testimonials, get it up in public, easy to find. Show what's possible by working with you, create fun little micro offers that give people quick wins and generate excitement within the business. Again, we want to create that momentum. We want to create that demand. So do that by inviting people to speak to you about anything, just so that you can show that there is momentum happening. But anything that is, from a marketing perspective, qualified interest within the business, whether it's payments, inquiries, messages, emails, whatever it is, show that and share that things are happening, and this will start to build momentum. Show the proof. So sharing your client case studies, what was their before and after journey? What did you do to help them get there or achieve that result? Take us on the journey so that we can see what you've helped other people to do in the past. And again, this is going to invite more people in because they can just see either the variety of people you've worked with in the past, variety of people you've helped, what sort of challenges you've overcome, what the outcome was. It's just, again, removing more questions and reservations. So, and then the last point there is, what did I say? I was reading off script. Oh, making your DMs a safe space to come and talk to you. So any conversations that are happening, if you want more people in your DMs, show what conversations are already happening behind the scenes so that it makes it easier for people to come through. So in a nutshell, that was everything that you need to be doing. Again, see it as an opportunity. Like if you're not getting enough people coming in, it's likely because you're not visible enough. And then when people are on your profile, they're not seeing what they need to see. So go through this, make notes, listen again, either get your notes app out on your phone, grab a pen and paper, so that you can go through and be like, right, what have I not yet shared enough of to make my DMs a safe space for people to come in and ask me more about my offer? The last point there is you're probably not selling enough. There we go. Number 6, for free, sell more. If you're selling your offer that you know is a great fit for your client, you know it can help them, and you're sharing why it can help them, how it can help them, how soon this offer is available or when it's available until, again, creating that urgency and demand, then it should be a safe space and it should be a no-brainer for them to come through. So, are you selling enough? This is what I help clients with because I really want to hone in on what is your unique magic, your special sauce, and I really bring that into your content so that it's not like they're looking at you thinking, what would it be like to work with her? You're positioning yourself as like, duh, why wouldn't you want to work with me? Like, this thing is incredible. It's going to change your life. Yeah, so identify your magic, use that to sign on clients, share the magic that you create for your clients that you're already working with to welcome in more clients, and then use that momentum to launch your high ticket offer, your program, your new course. Like, build that momentum and then you'll skyrocket from there. So if you feel like you haven't got momentum, which I'm coming on to in a whole new episode, but really, really work on building momentum and do that by looking for any evidence across the business and sharing that everywhere. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, if you're not assigning clients consistently, you want more help with your content, you want more help building momentum and demand. My upcoming program, Sold Out Sales Academy, is dropping soon. Yeah, baby. It'll be on the Tuesday, the 12th. The doors are opening. So if you haven't already, I'm hosting a masterclass on Monday, the 11th, called 6 Steps to 6 Figures. You can help yourself out. I'll put the link in the show notes. But if you're listening to this after Tuesday, the 12th, then the doors to Sold Out Sales Academy will be open until Thursday, the 21st. This is my 12-week group program to help you sign high-ticket clients, build massive momentum, build demand so that you can be not just booking one-to-one clients, but you can use that momentum and demand to launch your own group program, course, or high-ticket one-to-one offer so that you can be really scaling your income, scaling your impact, scaling the business, and just living a life that feels absolutely incredible to you. All right, Queen, I'll leave the sign-up link for the masterclass in the show notes. But if you enjoyed this episode, share it to your stories. Don't forget to tag me, Sarah Buckland Coaching. Would love to hear from you and reshare it. And I shall see you inside the next episode.